You can start introducing methods that you can do in a room, that you can do in a sunny spot, that you can do on a balcony. You don't have to have much land. You can do many, many things. Get hold of heirloom seeds. That is one of the things that I would do. Store them in a refrigerator. And, the world is doing that. They have huge storage facilities in ice where they're keeping seeds. There are facilities in Norway for all of these things. Do it on a small scale. Have seeds that you can use for sprouting, for microgreens, and add this element of health to your lifestyle. Microgreens is a very interesting thing. There's lots of information on the internet. Just punch in microgreens and see what you can produce. It's a fascinating hobby. It will connect you with the earth, and you can do it in a very, very tiny little space. You can do it in an apartment, and you can benefit from it. And once you start this process, and by the way, that's a way of producing food quickly. If you go into the country and you want to start an organic garden and you think that you're going to be fed from day one, you have a big surprise coming because it takes a lot of time before you have a little seed that will eventually give you some fruit and some material that you can actually use. But things like microgreens and sprouting, that gives you almost instant food very rapidly. So those are hobbies that people should start developing. And once you start getting that feel for the green production, and you find the nutritional benefit of it, then the bug will start biting you. So those are things that people can do in the country. And prepare, get seeds, buy seeds. You can buy them in bulk from certain institutions. Look on the internet. The internet is full of information, and especially when it comes to sprouting, microgreens, and any one of those. Start doing that, and then progress to, if you can, to a little organic garden. And there are so many ways of doing this. And I have many associates or people that I know that use different methods. One of my friends has just set up a system where he has a pond with fish in it. He doesn't eat the fish. The fish are simply there to produce the material or the fertilizer that the plants has. And then he has sand beds, and he has a little pump where he pumps the water through the sand beds, and he grows the most amazing vegetables without any fertilizer whatsoever. Very simple system. And you can set it up, as I say, on a porch, and you can have things growing and doing things on a small area like a porch. That is so fascinating. I myself, I have a little organic garden. I grow my own vegetables, and I always make sure that I have a staple somewhere. And when I talk about a staple, I mean something that has substance, because you can't only eat leaves. So I always make sure I have either potatoes or sweet potatoes. Now, by the way, sweet potato, if you have the right climate, it grows very well. And it's one of those plants where you can eat the whole plant, the whole thing. So the leaves will provide greens, such as something that is like spinach, for example. So you can cook the leaves, you can have the leaves, and the sweet potato itself is very nutritious. And once you have that going and you have potatoes, I actually grow potatoes in little plastic black bags, and I place them in organic soil together with compost, which I also make myself. And I always have a couple of these bags so that you always have an emergency supply. And you can have a little root cellar. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a small dark place that is in a cool area. And then you can keep those things for a long, long time. And then, of course, your other greens like carrots and cabbage and the simple things. Don't go and try and be exotic. Do the things that are staple and simple and that work first. And then if you have, of course, heirloom seeds, then you can harvest the seed. So you always keep a few to go into seed, and then you have the next lot of seed. Whereas if you buy commercial seed, you have a one generation and that's it. Then you're again dependent. So have a stock of those seeds. So those are things that you can do even when you are in a city. And if you have a small garden, then you can go into organic gardening.